The Ontario government has provided $274,740 to the Algoma Workforce Investment Corporation, one of 26 workforce planning boards in Ontario. Sault Ste. Marie MPP Ross Romano made the announcement today. The corporation gathers labour market data, which is used by employers to make business decisions and work with partners and stakeholders to create solutions to labour market issues. Its mandate is to act as a catalyst for change in the Algoma district's labour market by partnering with labour market groups to address training and adjustment issues. Lower wholesale costs in the local marijuana industry are a step in the right direction, according to local pot shop Hello Cannabis. But there's room for improvement. Ty Jamieson, vault supervisor at Hello Cannabis, says the flow of information between supplier and retailer could be better. He'd also like to see Ontario follow in British Columbia's footsteps and allow for the purchase of cannabis products directly from licensed producers as opposed to having to go through the Ontario Cannabis Store. Jamieson says while his store generally receives all of the products that are ordered, there have been some quality issues, particularly when it comes to product freshness. He adds some products are also getting harder to stock. The Ontario Cannabis Store recently stated that legal recreational cannabis was gaining ground on the illicit market and that wholesale prices have dropped. The federal government will provide direct help to businesses hit by the COVID-19 pandemic to help them offset the cost of rent. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says a revamped commercial rent relief program will cover up to 65% of eligible expenses for companies and up to 90% for those subject to localized lockdowns. The government will also cover up to 65% of eligible wages through its subsidy program, but only until the end of December, and expand a well-used loan program by providing an added $10,000 that could be forgivable. Trudeau said that even though many businesses have reopened, a number of them are not at full capacity, while others are worried about surviving a second wave. Out of concern for the health and safety of the community, the Rotary Club of Sault Ste. Marie and North Pole Joint Council have cancelled this year's Rotary Santa Claus Parade. Chief Elf Officer Phyllis Navidad is reassuring all the good children that Christmas is still very much on schedule, even though the parade itself is not happening. Navidad also wants to ensure everyone that Santa's Workshop is maintaining good elf and safety practices while building toys and wrapping gifts. Daniel LaPrade is up next with your local weather right after this.
Friday evening and welcome back. Hope everybody has had a great day as we now enter into our Thanksgiving weekend. Was a warm one today, well above seasonal, and we are going to see a little bit of a dip as we get into the weekend and maybe some showers coming very soon or on Monday. On the radar right now, not a whole lot going on at the moment. We do have some cloud cover here. High pressure is off to the east, just over Timiskaming Shores, Timmins area over there. Let's look at our jet stream. So mild, warmer air is below us currently. That's what pushed up the nice temperatures that we had today. This cooler ridge here is going to come down as we get into the weekend, move down slightly, just a little bit to push those cooler temperatures in for us as we get into the weekend, but mostly at night, not too much in the day. We are still going to see double digits in the day. And we're going to look at our camera now, which is brought to you by wirelesscom.ca. Make sure you check their website out for all the services that they have to offer. As you can see, it's been a mix of sun and cloud throughout the day. Not much going on at the moment, so it is a beautiful day to still get out for a walk. Make sure you do take your umbrella with you this evening, just in case there is a sprinkle that comes along and gets you. Okay, your expected highs today were 21 in Thunder Bay, 13 in Wawa, 8 in Timmins. You were the cool spot. You didn't break double digits today. 18 here in Sault Ste. Marie, 14 in Elliott Lake, and 13 in Sudbury. We will see overnight 8 in Thunder Bay, 10 in Wawa, 7 in Timmins. Not much of a change there, just 1 degree. 13s across the board, the Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, and Elliott Lake. As mentioned, tonight we will see partly cloudy. There is a 60% chance of that passing shower late into the evening and into the overnight. Winds are still pretty breezy out there, 30 kilometers gusting to 50, and then they will become northwest 30 gusting to 50 overnight. So we're still seeing those sustained winds for this time of year as we usually are in autumn. We get the windy days. And now on Saturday, we're going to see a high of 15, mix of sun and cloud. We'll clear late in the morning. Winds will be 30 kilometers, gusting to 50 once again. Temperature will be 15, as mentioned. It's going to start to dip, though. In the late afternoon, you're going to see it go down to 10, and then by overnight, you'll be down to 5. So it's going to really drop for tomorrow. As mentioned on the jet stream, that's that cool air that's pushing down. UV index is 4 or moderate, and overnight, you will see just cloudy periods with a low of 5. But that makes way for a beautiful Sunday. 12 degrees is your expected high, and you are going to see mainly sunny and just a low of 7 overnight. Now things change on Monday. This is where you are going to see some clouds and then some showers move in. 15 degrees though, still up there for your Thanksgiving Monday. But if you are planning something outside, my suggestion would be to do it on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, if you're having a barbecue or dinner, because Monday is looking like it's going to be the wet day. And overnight, you are going to see 60% chance of showers on Monday night. We want to thank Northern Lights Detailing for sponsoring our weather. They are at 632 Great Northern Road. Marnie has mentioned that there is an additional promotion this month on top of the window tinting one, whereas if you get a detailing service in October, of course, you can either get a $10 window tinting coupon, or you can choose a $15 coupon towards a crown undercoating from Crown Rust Control. Perfect time, because at this time of year, a lot of people are getting their vehicles undercoated for the snow. So you can do either one. Make sure you go check them out. Showers will continue on Tuesday, 15 degrees. Sun and clouds on Wednesday, back to some showers on Thursday before we drop to 7 on Friday. Overnight lows will go from 5 to 10 on Monday night, and then we will stay below double digits, just around 9 degrees for a couple days, and then down to 3 by Friday night. Here is your Weather Watcher photo sent in by Sherilyn Stubbs. This is another one from when she was wandering the shores of Lake Superior. Beautiful shot there. It's still a beautiful time to get up and see the fall colors before all the trees start to lose all their leaves. Make sure you send your photos and videos to ontvweather@gmail.com. Include your name, location, where you've sent it from. It goes up on SiouxOnline.com. Of course, it's here in the weather report for the newscast, as well as on First Local throughout the day, and on our social media, so your photo gets featured all over the place. So make sure you do that. While you're on Sioux Online, check the stories out that we present to you, the weather. Take the time to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is there where you can watch everything on demand, or you can, of course, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter for instant updates. Everything's there. So SiouxOnline.com or myalgoma.ca. Wishing everybody a safe and happy Thanksgiving weekend. See you all on Tuesday. Mike will be back with more news right after this.
Ontario is reporting 939 new cases of COVID-19 today, marking a new daily record. Health Minister Christine Elliott says 336 cases are in Toronto, 150 in Peel Region, and 126 in Ottawa. The province is also reporting 5 new deaths due to the virus today. In total, 225 people are hospitalized in Ontario due to COVID-19, up from 192 reported yesterday. The province says 47 people are in intensive care, 29 are on a ventilator. Sault Ste. Marie's indoor walking program at the GFL Memorial Gardens is set to resume after the Thanksgiving weekend. Walkers will be permitted to use the concourse of the arena Monday to Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. starting October 13th. As per public health guidelines, visitors will be required to sign in at the door for contact tracing purposes, and only 50 participants will be allowed in at a time. Walkers are encouraged to wear a mask, except those with respiratory or medical conditions or those who have difficulty putting a mask on themselves. Stats Canada says the country added 378,000 jobs in September as Canadians adapted to back-to-school routines and parents went back to work. The agency says mothers and fathers had employment levels that matched what was recorded pre-pandemic, but notes it is taking longer for mothers to get back to regular working hours. The number of mothers who worked less than half their usual hours in September was 70% higher than in February, compared with 23.7% for fathers. The agency also says that a higher percentage of mothers than fathers reported working from home in the month, suggesting that child care responsibilities were still falling on women. Overall, the unemployment rate fell to 9%, continuing its slide down from the record high of 13.7% recorded in May. A longtime presence at the Canadian Bush Plain Heritage Centre is flying off into the sunset. Donna Burrill spent more than 20 years at the centre as the retail membership manager, where she looked after volunteer management, retail purchasing, fundraising, and membership management. The Canadian Bush Plain Heritage Centre, located on the north bank of the St. Mary's River, is dedicated to preserving the history of bush flying and forest protection in Canada. It was founded in 1987 by a group of local volunteers to preserve the province's history in bush plains and aerial firefighting. Ontario's New Democrats are presenting a multi-billion-dollar plan to revamp the long-term care sector as the first plank of their 2022 election platform. The official opposition is set to unveil its vision for the sector at a press conference today. The plan calls for a shift to a public, not-for-profit long-term care system over the course of 8 years, phasing out private operators. The party says it would also create 50,000 additional resident spaces in smaller, family-like homes in that time. The NDP estimate the plan would cost $6 billion in capital costs over 8 years and $9.5 billion in operational funding over 6 years. A new Stats Canada report says more than two-thirds of students at the country's military colleges personally witnessed or experienced unwanted sexual behavior in the past year. The findings come 6 years after the military first promised to root out sexual misconduct from the ranks, and 3 years after Chief of the Defence Staff General Jonathan Vance took the colleges under his direct command. Stats Canada found that 68% of officer cadets had experienced what it described as unwanted sexualized behaviors, the most common of which were sexual jokes or inappropriate talks about sex lives or a student's appearance. 28% of female cadets reported having been sexually assaulted during their time at Canada's 2 military colleges. The COVID-19 pandemic is underscoring weaknesses in Canadian privacy laws that place people's personal information at risk. In his annual report, Federal Privacy Commissioner Danielle Therrien said the pandemic is fueling rapid societal and economic changes at a time when outdated laws provide inadequate protection. Therrien says the spread of the virus and the resulting need to distance oneself from others has accelerated the digital revolution, bringing both benefits and risks for privacy. He cited the heated debates about contact tracing and exposure alert applications and their effect on privacy, and the fact many have been asked to provide details about their health at airports or before entering workplaces and stores. I'm Mike McDonald. We have more news and weather coming up.
Even though we can't always meet in person, we can still listen.
Even though schools are closed, help is still available in your community.
Even though you may be worried, services and supports are still here.
In stressful times like these, families need mental health supports more than ever.
We are here to make sure you can stay connected to your community and culture.
Nous savons qu'il peut être difficile de rester à la maison, mais vous n'êtes pas seul.
And we know